Hey, bookworms, I am here and on the phone with John Honea and Mikaela A Case, a father and daughter writing team who wrote Valkyrie, Dragons and Kings. How are you doing?
Fantastic, sir.
Doing great.
Where are you guys based out of?
We are in a small little town called Siloam Springs, Arkansas.
Excellent. All right. So, first off, this is really cool. This is the first time I've had a father-daughter writing team. So you can tell me about that yourselves and how you got into writing and how you together wrote this book, Valkyrie.
Well, long story, I'll try to make it short here. At the age of 16, I had listened to an ACDC song, Hell's Bells, and the idea popped in my head. That sounds odd, but it's funny.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to do it, and I've made up the story in my head. And, of course, life happens. You graduate. I joined the military, U.S. Navy. Got out. Truck drove for 21 years until basically my body broke back in 2022, where I had to step out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I had always done the story with my daughter so I could teach her critical thinking skills. She had to give her a situation and a story, and she'd have to come back with the proper thing or get punished. Her character, I should say, gets punished.
Okay.
Then one day when she was 16, she says, "Dad, why don't you put this into a book?" So several years ago, I started on it. And now that I'm disabled, I decided, well, I might as well go full-fledged with it. And I would write down the rough draft, and she would refine it.
When did you first publish this?
I think I put them up on Amazon KDP. I'm independently published now.
Mm-hmm.
About 6 months ago.
Okay. Oh, so really new. Would you mind reading a page from your book?
Okay, I'll set the scene. The Antichrist sent Shinzon to destroy a town in Russia. Was it Russia? Yeah, Russia.
That's funny.
Wow. Anyway, when he got to the town, he prepared himself. He started coming into the town using all of his elemental magic, destroying the town, destroying and killing the humans, the slimy, stinky humans. When he got to the end of the town, there was a preacher standing there with a cross in his hand, rebuking him. Shinzon smiled and said, "Lo and behold, I saw a pale horse," as he pulled out his bow and nocked an arrow. And him who rode on its name was Death. As he pulled the arrow back, and hell followed with him as he released the arrow, impaling the minister through the heart and to a cross.
And lightning strikes, and flames surround the cross, engulfing everything, including the pastor. But the cross never ignites. And
so tell me about the book Valkyrie. It's a fantasy book, right?
Yes. So It's a mixture between sci-fi, fantasy, and Christian.
Okay.
We put a lot of biblical aspects to it. Each one of our books have a specific message to it.
Okay.
So, like, the first one is redemption, coming to God, and forgiveness.
So it starts off, the Valkyries were angels in heaven that were sent down by God to teach man, as Adam and Eve produces children and sends them out into the world to teach them and update them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, when Adam and Eve fall and sin comes into the picture, some of the Valkyries fall from grace and become the bad angels. And the funny thing about the story, the main character, Shinzon, and his three brothers, Edward and Francis, Shinzon basically sees something that happens in his life, takes it the wrong way, and runs towards the side of evil.
Okay. Tell us more about Shinzon and his character. What makes him unique?
makes him unique is very few Valkyries are born with white hair. The ones that are destined to become kings. Well, his grandfather was the first king. Shinzon's father, Tralgar, is the prince in line. And then there's Shinzon. I don't want to give too much away.
Right.
So what makes him unique is he's royalty.
Okay, because of his white hair.
Yes.
Okay. Is that a general Valkyrie, like, legend or idea, or did you come up with that?
So, the idea of the three brothers, there's always going to be three children that is born between a king and a queen. The first is almost always going to have white hair. And they are, like my father said, destined to be kings. The second one usually has red hair, which they are the diplomats or the king's guard, really.
Okay.
Also, what is significant about these characters is their eye color as well. Not only does Shinzon have white hair, but he also has a significant pale blue eyes.
Okay. And what turns out to be the significance of that? Does that make him more likely to be a royal?
Yeah. Purity. It's something that I've just put into my world to
Okay.
make it more interesting. The third child has black hair, and he's usually the general, the one that heads the army.
Okay.
Yeah, but he sees an event that happens between his mom and dad, and he gets the wrong idea about it. And I can't give too much away because
Nope.
it'll kill the
Don't
book.
want to. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
That's right. Did you guys have to do research into this at all?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Lots of research was put into this, a lot of time.
Okay.
And most of it just comes out of my mind.
Okay, so it's a blend of things that you researched and then created on your own.
Right. And
Okay.
what is significant to this that totally baffles my mind, being a Christian, I've always been raised with just the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
After we got book 1 done and we were starting to do book 2, she came across the book of Enoch, which is a totally separate book. And we found that book 1, what I wrote in book 1 parallels what's written in Enoch,
Okay.
the book of Enoch. Without even knowing it, I did it.
Neat. Okay. And you mentioned that the book has a message behind it, or each one does.
Yes.
What do you think the message is, or what should the message be?
What I'm trying to achieve is forgiveness. Come into Christ no matter what happens, what you've done in your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a subtle. I didn't want to make it, a sermon, but
Right.
just one person or three people's venture through life, and even
Okay.
in the spoilers I put up on Amazon, Shinzon later gets hooked up with the Antichrist
Okay.
and becomes his main hitman.
When you created your world here, tell me about that. The world that you're putting the readers into. Anything else you can elaborate on that?
Basically, Earth, from the time of Adam and Eve to I should say Shinzon's time starts at just before the time of Noah.
Right before the flood.
Right before the flood.
Okay.
So a group of them who break away from the original king, which went evil, basically goes into a stasis pod hibernation and wakes up in modern day Earth.
Okay. All right.
This is also signifying revelations as well as the tribulation throughout Shinzon's life.
When you create a character, what makes a good character in your mind?
I should say maybe their aura, their personality.
Okay.
Yeah, creating a personality is kind of difficult.
Okay.
Shinzon's a little quirky. doesn't mean to come off funny, but sometimes he's hilarious, and he doesn't understand it. Yeah, I basically model Shinzon after my personality.
Okay. Interesting. What is can you tell me like a chapter that you struggled with in writing, Valkyrie?
Many. My
sad chapters, I think I struggled with.
She struggles with writing the sad parts of it.
Yeah.
I struggle with writing the filler parts. Of being able, writing in the parts that explains everything leading up to an incident.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time with that, but when it comes into battles and things like this, I have no problem.
Okay. Did you employ any like editors? Did you have an editor?
I used my family.
Family.
We are the editors.
The family is it. Okay.
And my wife, once I get the completed one out, then she gets to go through it, and
that's good. Yeah.
she finds and corrects things for me that I have a tendency. The Navy said I had an IQ of 154.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe them. I don't spell very good.
Well, that's what spell check is for.
That's it.
And that's what editors are for, so that's fine.
That's what Google is for.
Right, yeah. So, where can people find you online?
If they go to Amazon.com,
Mm-hmm.
just type in Valkyrie, Dragons and Kings, it'll pull up both of my books.
Okay. So what's
There's the ebook, Prime Plus, paperback, and hardback.
okay? And what's the other book's title?
The first book is Valkyrie, Dragons and Kings, Rise to Rights.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is the same name, Valkyrie, Dragons and Kings, Long Road Home.
Okay, so Rise to Rights and Long Road Home.
Yes,
And you're working on book 3, is that what I heard?
Yes, I'm working on book 3. I'm so far revising it. I've got it all written out. I'm just revising it into the proper channel of it,
Mm-hmm.
adding all the details and things to my notes.
Okay.
And I'm in chapter 19 of about 28 chapters on this one.
Okay. How many pages are these books about?
About 340 to 360.
Okay. Now, these books, are you going to stop at book 3, or is it going to be a longer series, do you think?
It's going to be a longer series.
Okay. And are the books in the series able to be read standalone? Is that your plan, or do readers really have to read them sequentially in order?
They have to read them in order to understand it.
I have a bad habit. I left the end of each book with a huge cliffhangers.
Aha! Cliffhanger.
It'll probably make people mad at me, but I love them anyway.
Well.
And that to be continued on the last page.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, that's all right. That's all right if book 2's already out.
Yeah.
That's all right. Mikaela, what do you enjoy most about being an author?
What I enjoy most is the creativity, the stuff that runs through my head on a daily basis. I can just put down on paper, and it's beautiful. I mean, I really like building the characters. Like, every time I think of a new character, it's almost like painting a picture in my mind. I can see it, and I can write it down how I see it and how I see them as a person.
Do you do any other writing?
I'm thinking about splitting off and making my own volumes, yes, but
Okay.
I haven't concretely came up with any rough ideas yet.
Okay. And John, how about you? What do you enjoy most about being a author?
Entertainment. I love to entertain. I love for people to smile and laugh and cry at what I created, and plus it helps me. I get so jumbled up with so many ideas and things in my head. It just helps me to get them out on paper and clear my mind.
Yeah, that's good.
Would you allow me to make a plug? Be on the lookout for future. Once I finish book 3, I am going to take a small hiatus while Mikaela's writing a prequel to the Valkyries.
Okay.
I'm starting a new book series, and it's not Christian, it's just fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
and it's called The Elf and the Clock. So be looking for that in about 3 months.
Awesome. I love that. I was going to just ask you if you were going to, either of you, venture off into any works that are outside the genre of fantasy, or are you going to stick to fantasy?
We're going to stick to fantasy. That's what we delve in most because that's where the creativity is.
I am a Trekkie, Star Wars, fantasy geek, I guess you can say.
Love it. Love it. As an author, what would you define as success?
Oh, goodness. Success. People loving my books. I mean, money is important, and that's one reason why I'm doing it, is to make a living, but more or less people loving the books and giving me back good reviews.
That's good.
Also, the number one biggest thing for that is to have people come closer to God, or those who don't know Him come to know Him through our books. Maybe they get curious about the Bible or a prayer that we say or a verse that's been stated, and they go look it up for themselves.
And if they want to contact me through my email and learn more, then I'm more than happy to do so.
Very good. How about the elevator pitch for Valkyrie, Dragons, and Kings?
Well, readers, how would you like a book of intrigue, mystery, fantasy? Look at the fact that there is betrayal, different kind of a fantasy sci-fi than you would have ever read.
If you like books, maybe you'll like one with love, hate, betrayal, falling out of Christ, coming back to Him, murder, mayhem, chaos, then falls back into peace and tranquility, but only for a short time.
It has a dark side.
Yes.
I'm very good at dark siding things.
When readers read Valkyrie, Dragons, and Kings, and the next one as well, what kind of feelings is the book going to generate for your readers, do you think?
What isn't it not going to generate?
My main goal was to create a main character that at first people would really hate him, and then in the end fall in love with him. And with book one, I think I have created that.
Well, I think it's gonna generate a lot of mixed emotions, because that's what our readers here at home, at our home, had felt. She felt sadness. She felt some spurts of joy, yet also frustration and anger at Shinzan for maybe for some reason not listening to someone.
There's a dog in the book.
There's a dog, yes.
Tell us about the dog.
Okay, the dog, his name is Nanook. He's not really a spoiler. I mean, I'm pretty sure I was going to put him in the books anyway. But one of the characters named Gabriel found him in a rather large town in somewhere in Siberia. I'm not going to give that away. And he found a small puppy that was trying to scavenge food from a dumpster amongst the chaos that was ensuing in this town. And he felt sorry for this young dog and decided to take him home.
Adopted him.
He adopted him, and he named him Nanook, which is a very interesting name. I just thought of it for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
He is a German Shepherd that has a very rare color type. He is a diluted lavender, which makes him look like a diluted liver. I'm sorry, and makes him look lavender, like a purplish gray color. It's actually a real color type among German Shepherds. It's very rare. It's called Isabella. And he's ice blue eyes, and he's helped Gabriel fight through a whole lot of trauma that he had ensued along his life. He's almost like a support animal,
Love it. Okay.
and he's very impactful throughout the story.
I love that.
Who later becomes a warrior dog. And yeah, I'm going to give a spoiler. I'm not going to tell you what book it's in, but Shinzon gives him intelligence and speech.
All right. Well, I certainly enjoyed talking to you guys tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, and I am looking forward to getting this posted for you. I hope that you guys find much success with Valkyrie Dragons and Kings.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.